Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching Israel Construction Technology webinar. This webinar provides simultaneous interpretation in Cantonese. If you wish to listen to Cantonese interpretation, please click Setting as below. If you wish to continue to join this webinar in English, please remain your setting. The Construction Industry Council, CIC, and the Consulate General of Israel in Hong Kong co-organized this webinar to foster connections between high-tech Israel companies with cutting-edge technologies in construction and the industry practitioners in Hong Kong. Today, we are happy to have 6 high-tech Israel companies who showcase their latest technologies and innovative solutions in construction with the industry practitioners. Before we start, we would like to invite Ms. Inaf Nixon, Commercial Counsel and Head of Economic and Commercial Mission, Consulate General of Israel in Hong Kong, to come on stage for her welcome address. Ms. Nixon, please.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining the Israel Construction Technology webinar. My name is Einav Nixon. I'm the head of the Israeli Economic and Commercial Mission to Hong Kong and Macau and the Israeli Consulate in Hong Kong. Our goal is to promote, enhance, and facilitate the economic and trade cooperation between Hong Kong and Israel. We offer free services to Hong Kong companies, such as individual scouting projects, forming Hong Kong delegations to Israel, holding local seminars, and matchmaking events like today. I'm very delighted to have the Construction Industry Council initiating today's webinar to bring Israeli technology to the industry in Hong Kong. Israel is known as the hub of innovation. Today, there are around 100 active startups in the construction tech sector, leveraging the strength of AI, robotics, IoT, and smart technologies. Israeli companies create innovative products and solutions for different stages of construction projects. The solution ranged from the tools for building design, budget and project management, heavy machinery and equipment, construction materials, site safety, to water leakage and energy-saving solutions. As you all know, the Hong Kong construction industry has been thriving with public and private investment being dedicated to infrastructure projects, housing, and reconstruction of old buildings. The sector looks poised to continue its impressive growth trajectory in the coming years. Nowadays, growth often stems from the adoption of technology, and thus we are proud to present today 6 interesting and unique Israeli companies: Voltract, Greenvibe, Trustor, Ception, Conwise, and BMatch. If you are interested in meeting the companies or need our assistance to explore the Israeli tech world, please do not hesitate to reach out. May I thank again CIC team, especially Albert and Andrew, for holding and supporting the webinar to celebrate Israeli innovation, and I wish all of you, our participants, great success and a fruitful webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Nixon, for your speech. Now we would like to invite Engineer Albert Zhang, Executive Director of Construction Industry Council, to have his welcome address. Engineer Zhang, please.
Ms. Inaf Nixon, Commercial Counsel and Head of Economic and Commercial Mission, Consulate General of Israel in Hong Kong. Engineer Andrew Yang, Head of Innovations, Sino Group of Hong Kong. Fellow industry practitioners, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and a warm welcome to the Israel Construction Technology webinar. It is my great pleasure on behalf of the Construction Industry Council, CIC, to gather to you the most advanced construction technologies from Israel through this webinar today. Israel is well known for its technological advancements and its entrepreneurship culture, which has been manifest in its construction industry. From cutting-edge digital solutions to advanced construction methods, Israel is at the forefront of innovation in construction sector. In recent years, Israel has made significant strides in the development of construction technology in many dimensions, from planning and design, advanced material and building methods, to site supervision and safety. We are honored to have been invited by the Consulate General of Israel to attend the Construction 4.0 2022 held in Tel Aviv in late November last year. We witnessed the thriving startup ecosystem in Israel and how technology companies they are actively pushing their boundary to address the pain points in the construction industry. In this visit, we were able to talk to and establish connection with different Israel technology companies. Today, with the assistance of the Consulate General of Israel, we have a fantastic lineup of some of the best and brightest Israel construction technologies and solution providers. We have focused on design to fabrication platform for optimized buildings, Greenwiped on solution to optimize concrete mix and usage, Truster on digitization solution for construction sites to enhance safety and efficiency, Septions on AI-powered system for heavy machinery, Convise on one-stop building and estimating software, and last but not the least, BeamMatch on BIM and AI solution to facilitate material procurement process. These companies provide diversified, innovative technologies which address the industry needs for digitalizations, AI, robotics on different areas to bring new dimensions to the way construction are designed, built, and maintained. We hope that through this webinar, you could obtain some insights on how technologies and innovation can make our industry more efficient, safer, and sustainable in future. I'd like to take a moment to express my gratitude to all speakers for spending time to join us today and share the knowledge and inventions. It's truly inspiring to see the experts from Israel to exchange with us the latest advancements and innovations in construction technologies. Hong Kong and Israel have a close tie in economic and technological collaborations. The CIC will sustain the network with Israel construction industries and continue to bring to you the most advanced technologies from Israel and all over the world. By connecting and learning from one another, I have no doubt that we can discover new ways to drive innovations and growth in the construction industry. If you are interested in bringing those solutions to help your projects or company, or further talk to companies today, please don't hesitate to send us feedback. The CIC is happy to build the link. I hope this webinar will provide all of us with an opportunity to learn, network, and advance our knowledge of construction technologies. Once again, thank you all for your attendance. Enjoy.
Thank you for Engineer Zhang for his speech. Sino Group has established Sino InnoLab to support startups, investors, and technology companies from Hong Kong and overseas to develop PropTech solutions. Now we would like to invite Engineer Andrew Yang, Associate Director, Innovation of Sino Group, to come on stage for his keynote speech. Engineer Yang, please.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the CIC Israel Construction Technology webinar. As a council member of the CIC, I'm honored to be here today and to have the opportunity to participate in this exciting innovation exchange. Working in the developer side, I have traveled around the world to look for the most advanced construction technology and property technology that are applicable in Hong Kong. Thanks to the effort of the CIC and the Consulate General of Israel, we have gathered here today the latest advancement in construction technology from Israel, which are shaping the future of the industry. As we all know, Israel is known for its innovative and forward-thinking approach in construction and engineering, and today's webinar will showcase some of the incredible advancements that are being made in the construction field. From robotics to automation to advanced construction techniques, we will delve into the most exciting development in the industry. At this webinar, you will not only learn about the latest technology, but we will we'll also have the opportunity to introduce them to Hong Kong. This is a unique opportunity to connect with thought leaders and build lasting partnership with them. So let's get started. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our Israel friends who have come together today to share their knowledge and insights. And I would like to thank all of you for joining us today. Your participation and engagement will make this webinar a truly memorable experience. So let's get ready to learn about the latest trend and innovation in construction technology in Israel. Thank you again for being here, and I hope you will enjoy this webinar.
Thank you, Engineer Yang, for his speech. Here we enter the sharing section. First, we would like to invite Mr. Tal Freeman, CEO of Volstruct, to present the solution. Mr. Freeman, please.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tal Friedman. I am the CEO of Volstruct, and I'm very honored to be here and share what we do with the Hong Kong community and the Chinese ecosystem. It's really a great honor, and I've met some of you personally in Construction 4.0 in Israel, and I think it's a great closing of that circle and an opening of a new one. So I hope you enjoy my presentation. I'll be talking about AI and robotics and how that all comes together in the age of Construction 4.0 and basically bring about a new age in construction and automated design. So without further ado, I'm going to load the presentation. So as we said, Construction 4.0 is a completely new age in construction where robotics come together with algorithms and where we can reimagine the way buildings are being created. We can see concepts of the building site of the future, and it will look nothing like what we know today. With the world's need for millions of new buildings to be built, on sustainability basis and on affordability basis, we know that the only way we can get there is by adopting advanced automation. A little bit about my background. I'm an architect and engineer. You can see here some of my prior work. I come from the field of design for manufacturing, and here in the background we can see a movie of the Origami Pavilion, which took the concept of advanced manufacturing and robotics to a new level and combining that with origami methods to create novel manufacturing methods for construction. Here you can see the actual pavilion that was built just by folding thin sheets of metal, which ended up costing about 1/10 of what it would have been using standard methods. And this is a method that we take on and develop for facades and much more. And you can see here how everything starts out with design algorithms, with robotic manufacturing. And in the end, all of that comes together to create forms, buildings, structures, with really the mind of reducing material and creating much smarter designs than the standard. So I won't go too much to talk about that, but about what this means for the world of construction. So we're living in the age of AI architecture, the way that I see things, not talking just about building the building for the sake of having it built, but about sustainability, affordability, and efficiency. These are the metrics that need to drive our buildings, and using AI at Volstruct, we're able to do all of that together. So if we look at the construction world and compare it to, let's say, the world of car manufacturing, we see that in just 100 years, we were able to take the price down by a multiple of 10, create cheaper, faster, and greener cars. Of course, in China, that's being taken even to a further extent today. But if we look at construction, we see that we're no longer, in that realm. We have completely, I would say, missed the train of advanced automation, which has basically revolutionized all the manufacturing industry. And if we look at 1922 and 2022, already 23, we can see that it's not sustainable, it's not mass manufacturable, and it's not time and cost efficient. And this all happens because of that gap between our design and the advanced manufacturing methods. So this is where we live right now. We can see two plans, one from Mesopotamia in 3100 BC, the other one, Revit AutoCAD 2023. And you can see that there's not much of a difference here. Not sustainable, not cost effective, not coordinated. Basically, our planning methods today are still mainly based upon geometry. The only time where we actually start to talk about manufacturability is down the line after we already have approvals and when it's basically too late to change anything. So if we look about the time it takes to design a building, it's about 2 to 3 years, and the manufacturability side of it is really not even included in the initial design stages. So where we see this going is to a merge between construction and automation. If we look at what has happened in the automotive industry and we look at the latest reports by McKinsey and such, we can see that we have an ability to reduce costs by 40%, build 4 times faster, reduce all the costs, CO2 emissions, and ultimately increase ROI, which is what's really driving this sector. But it will all start with smart planning. And this is exactly what Fullstruct does. So if we just look at the market for a second and we ask, why would we want to build different? It's always a great question because we know that construction is a self-sustaining business, and being as slow as it is, it still kind of works. So if we look at where the construction world is going, we see that buildings equivalent to the city of Paris are being built every week. And that means that it's a huge, huge need when we talk about reducing CO2. So 99% of the buildings today do not address sustainability measures. And that means that we have a need for millions of buildings to be built in the coming years and also renovated according to new sustainability metrics. But sustainability, as we know, has to do with manufacturing and with details of design that are not even evident in today's standard projects. So yes, to reach those goals of reducing CO2, we first need to change the way we plan. We need to plan much more into detail. We need to take into account materials, CO2, and things that until now were actually not needed. So this need basically is changing our whole industry and bringing us to a point where buildings will become much more like products. So what we do is putting fabrication first, as I'll show you throughout this presentation, starting out with initial BIM design, but then moving on to design for manufacturing in a couple of clicks. Now, the big paradox today is that everybody talks about prefab and talks about it as being the future. But this is actually the biggest paradox. To get projects, you need projects. And this means that it's a chicken and egg problem. Yes, we have modular technologies. They're great, they work. But in order for them to make sense, we need mass scale. And buildings usually do not work on mass scale, but on one-off projects. So this slide here emphasizes the problem of the chicken and egg that we just mentioned. If you look at the left side, you'll see that the building cost of standard construction is actually lower than prefab or industrialized construction until we hit that kind of break-even point, right? So it means that if you have a one-off project, it's going to be much cheaper to produce in standard methods. And to reach that advantage of prefab, we need to have huge scale. And of course, every system and method has its own break-even point. But that break-even point usually has to do with tens, sometimes hundreds of simultaneous projects. So what we do basically is help merge that design process into one. Instead of having what we call the mountain climber effect, where there's design, engineering, detailing, sourcing, and tendering, as completely fragmented steps, we created a method for creating a unified platform, which means that all of those are taken into account from initial design stages and allow you to create this kind of a superposition between different types of methods, materials, and ultimately find the perfect building method material that fits our project. So as we mentioned, sustainable, affordable, and efficient is what drives our industry. And we can see here that using our approach, we move to a unified platform, no longer fragmented supply chains. We can see here on the left what it looks like today. Everybody has their own software. They have, completely different rule sets. If the engineer did something, they have to bring it back to the planner, has to be brought back to the fabricator. And we put an end to all of that in what we call FIM, which is Fabrication Integrated Modeling. You can see this displayed here, which may give you kind of a concept of where we want to take this. The way that we look at this is from the cloud to the site. So design, optimize, and produce. What does this actually mean? Well, today, when we look at the design side, we look at a completely fragmented supply chain from the production. The production, however, has a lot of design restraints. So what if we wanted to design a building for a certain type of method? If we're done with the design, and we come back to the production line, they'd say, well, you have to change your whole design now in order to fit that type of method. Of course, that's not a possibility. So what we do is basically a kind of looping where we have the information from the production, from the different types of systems, materials, fabricators inside the archive of the design. And then using AI, we can know, does that design match that type of fabrication method? What type of changes will we have to make in order to reach it? And in the end, in one platform, we can reach the design, the optimization, and the production stage, which is what it's all about in the end. So now the question is, how do we reach all these goals? What is the actual, point that we want to touch on when we talk about building more sustainable and affordable buildings? Our main focus these days is on smart building envelopes. And the reason for that is because they can reduce the building's energy consumption by 50%. And we see that it's responsible for 70% of the building's sustainability metrics. The reason is because they are responsible for the insulation, the natural light, the acoustics, the view. All of those can be taken into account because it is basically the skin of the building that separates between the interior and the exterior. So when we talk about buildings today and how to optimize them, we think that starting out with a building envelope is probably the most effective way to reach all of these goals, whether for new buildings or for existing buildings, meaning renovations, retrofits, and things like that. And I'll show you a little bit about of how we treat facades and how a new world of design can arise, what we call the facade revolution, when we talk about these kinds of methods. So we have collaborations with companies that are already able to produce prefab facade systems to a very high extent. And together we develop systems that can match any type of building. And using our digital systems, we can take any building design and then automatically create best fit options for it. So we do this for the facades, either for panelized methods or for 3D panels. And you can see here basically also the opportunity for doing this for volumetric construction. So we look at the building envelope really as a way to get there as fast as we can. And you can see here the way that we build with an input that is the basic plans and sections. Then we could generate different types of variations. And then in the end, we can add that to what we call as the shopping cart, which is our list of fabricators that can supply the final solution for the building. So here's an example of a project that we are currently working on. And when we got this, it was just a very plain looking facade. And what was interesting about it was that, there was not considered too much to be done there, because they thought, okay, it's just a stick system on a standard building. But then we put on this system that we call Parashade, and Parashade is actually parametric shading fins, louvers, which are fabricated in a way similar to what I showed in the beginning. What's interesting here is that we can use our mass customization fabrication technique together with the AI generative design to create a facade which is both relatively, I would say, affordable, and on the other hand, very, very efficient in terms of creating sustainability for the building, whether it be creating thermal comfort, preventing reflection back onto the street. And a lot of these metrics that the higher and larger you go, the more they become evident. And what was interesting here is that we worked with the real estate developer and saw that it wasn't just, pretty, and it wasn't just sustainable, but what it really does is create a better ROI, because sustainable buildings that are also iconic create a real estate effect. We know this, sometimes people call it the Bilbao effect, after Frank Gehry's Bilbao Museum, where we see that real estate prices are very, very, I would say, changeable, right? And kind of in a parametric relationship to the amount of value that they can create. So if you have the same building as an iconic facade and just a standard cube, you'll see about a 30 to 50% differentiation in the price and the speed of rent. And this is one of the reasons why we're seeing this kind of arms race for the, the buildings of tomorrow. In the end, people are attracted to beautiful buildings. They're attracted to architecture. And if we can provide that at a minimal cost, we're creating a great ROI. So here are a couple of examples just to, to show the diversity of what we do. And this is a project, of course, that is more standardized, built on top of modular construction. But you can see the type of variance that we have with our system. And we can create this on top of given plans, sections. We don't need anything too special in order to produce things like this. And we do it very, very quickly and, create various variations in minimal time. So you can see this building here as well, trying to combine together facade that has cladding systems with photovoltaic panels together with vegetation. You can see more standardized construction that is more built for modular, but still trying to keep in this whole design aspect of it. This is, of course, the little more wild side of design, and we're able to do that as well with our technology. You can see here something that we have in planning, which again takes into account both the sustainability aspects of things and also the design side together with prefab manufacturing. So all of this together brings us to a new age of architecture, which Voltstruct is very, very glad to lead. And we're looking forward, to talking with a lot of real estate developers, contractors that have the passion to bring architecture to the next level. This is a project that is in design stages that uses volumetric mass timber. So everybody thinks that, modular construction needs to be straight and needs to only have this kind of, repetitive look. But if we're able to use those same elements, just nest them out in different ways, we can create thousands of different variations in different locations using the same supply chains. And this is what Voltstruct basically brings, the connection of architectural visions together with advanced manufacturing, allowing mass adaptation and adoption of these advanced methods. You don't need a huge project in order to enjoy these kinds of benefits. Even if you have 100 projects that are laid out in different areas, if they're using the same smart supply chain, the same materials, the same elements, we're able to concentrate all of that into smart manufacturing and start using kind of shared economy. So if you want to see real estate, going to the next level, I think that we have the solution, and together with partners, we're already pushing the boundaries, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how we can do something like this in Hong Kong, China, and together build a better world. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and feel free to reach out to me and speak out. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman, for his sharing. Now let's move on to the next sharing. We would like to invite Mr. Roy Rishav, CEO of Greenvibe, to present the solution. Mr. Rishav, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Roy from Greenvibe. Greenvibe is an Israeli startup that is dealing with concrete data, and we're delivering concrete data like never before, much more accurate, much more relevant to the operation, as I will explain. Our objective is very simple to understand, is simply to transform the concrete operation, the concrete industry, from the status as it is today to having objective real-time data 24/7 from the construction site, either if it's a construction site or a precast factory or anything that is dealing with concrete. Our Greenvibe Analyzer is a plug-and-play solution that is being used in the construction site. Then the data is being collected with the IoT system, going to the cloud, being analyzed in the cloud, and delivered to the customer in a very simple way, very intuitive way for easy of operation, easy of use. The value of having such technology is actually from moving from being reactive to be proactive on site, which means that from waiting, from simply don't knowing what's happening within this black box of the concrete, to exactly know what's happening inside and be able first to know in real time, but also to be able to plan ahead of time and to get some kind of a prediction about if there is going to be a failure or when the concrete is going to be ready. So the main values are, first is the time saving, and this one depends on the size and type of the project. It goes from 10% in high-rise buildings to sometimes 25% in precast factories or in a specific infrastructure project, especially big project. The other value is mix optimization, to use the most relevant concrete for the specific work that needs to be done. So it will meet the spec coming from the designer, it will meet the schedule of the project, and it will meet the budgets. So to do the optimization between the spec, the time, and the cost of the concrete. And the last, but definitely not the least one, is the certainty of operation, to know exactly what's happening in real time in the construction site, inside the concrete, get readiness notification, and in cases of failures, to know ahead of time, so you don't have to wait a week or sometimes 28 days to understand that you have a failure, but to get it after 24 hours or 48 hours after the pouring is taking place. In a wider view of the industry, we all aware that the construction industry is over-designed, and our technology is also helping to reduce a bit this over-design that will also have a ESG impact, as I will explain. So from different angles, the concrete industry is simply over-designed. It's over-designed from the designer, from the planning side, it's over-designed from the on-site construction in ordering a higher level compared to what is actually required by the GCs, and even from the concrete suppliers. And because it's such a big industry, we can simply help reducing this over-design. And we believe that 20 to 30% of the cement in use can be reduced from the industry, and the impact of the environment is simply huge. And we're seeing more and more companies caring about the ESG, caring about the impact, and looking for solutions to reduce this bad impact of the cement on the environment. These are a set of applications that can be supported, can be used. Our solution, it's definitely project time acceleration. In any project, the time is super important. Early formwork removal, readiness notifications that I already mentioned, mix optimization, concrete failure dedication in a very early stage of the process, early tensioning, either post-tensioning or pre-tensioning, and quality assurance of the concrete in the project. And it's important to understand GreenVibe is not temperature maturity. It is not based on the temperature, which is a side effect of the process. It's not a direct measurement of the concrete. So GreenVibe is different. We don't require any long calibration. It's a plug-and-play solution, which is based on deep technology with no calibration that is actually directly measuring the concrete strengths. And by that, it can also assure the quality assurance of the concrete, that everything is on track by the spec, and you can be relaxed and also save time of the operation. Basically, we are, again, without diving into the small details, this is how the sensor looks like. This is the very complicated or sophisticated sensor that is collecting different data and different parameters from the concrete. Then all this data is being delivered to the cloud, as I already mentioned, analyzed by the AI layers that you'll see in one slide, and eventually delivered to the user. So again, fusion of deep technologies. It's based on Maturity 2.0, which is advanced version of the maturity. Flexo, which is patented, very deep technology, patented by GreenVibe, and as well as ultrasonic. We're doing a fusion of all these technologies because one technology is simply not enough to analyze the concrete. The concrete is dynamic, it's changed all the time, and it's also complicated. It's based on different materials. So all this data is being delivered to the cloud, being analyzed, and then going to a very simple dashboard for the use of the project manager. Okay, so all this mass of deep technology is irrelevant for the user. The user is enjoying a very clear data, and he can dive more and more into the small details according to his priority. Leading companies in the industry aware to other solution, aware to the maturity, and aware to the lab test, and they are not satisfied. And from discussion with these companies, they're really excited about this new technology and the benefits that it can deliver to their operation. And this is also supported by the tier one investors that we have, design partners that we're dealing with mainly, but not only in the US, and other companies globally that are looking for such a solution, which are the inbounds, as you can see on the right-hand side. This is part of the team. Since we have a bit of a time, maybe I will jump from the presentation to kind of a live demo of the dashboard. So allow me a second. As you can see here, this is a live dashboard. This is a project called YBox, done by Tidhar. Tidhar Construction is one of the leading construction companies in Israel. And this is how easy it is. This is the set of pours that took place in the last days. And if we'll pick one, for example, this one, we can go more into the details of the pour to understand what's happening inside, down to the level of a specific sensor. It's taking time because it's analyzing in real time, as I mentioned. And specifically, this pour is based on 1, 2, 3, only 3 sensors. So you can see how the strength is being built up, the temperature, and other parameters of the pour. It's an offline session, so I'll be more than happy to take a question offline and be approached by relevant partners or relevant customers in the region. We're very happy to collaborate with this technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Rishef. Next, we would like to invite Mr. Omri Surik, CEO and co-founder of Truster, to present the solution. Mr. Surik, please.
Hi, everyone. And thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Omri Sorek. I'm the CEO and founder of Truster. We digitize construction, focusing on enhancing construction site efficiency and safety. Truster was founded by myself and Mr. Ofer Simon. Ofer is a communication system engineer and a very known tech entrepreneur in the global ecosystem. We partnered together 3.5 years ago in order to create Truster in terms of disrupting the construction site process mechanisms. I am a 5th generation to construction and builders family, and from a very young age, I was exposed to construction sites and the different processes that happen there. Truster combines domain expertise with tech professionals, bringing technology into this industry, and we're very happy and glad to focus on this industry only. Our goal is to enhance construction site efficiency and safety in order to first improve the profit margins of the different stakeholders in the industry, but second, also raise the safety standards and, of course, save lives in the process. We create from all the information and data points collected from the working environment what we call construction intelligence. Basically, data-driven, actionable insights provided to different functions on site and off-site in order to create a more efficient and safer process. The company today is fully operational in 3 locations, the US, UAE, and Israel, and we're looking forward to expanding into new territories. As we see today, the industry and the site has many challenges, but the efficiency and safety derive from 5 key ones. Unplanned event awareness in the working environment, conveying the status between the different functions on site, tracking resources, focusing on personnel, equipment, tools, and materials, controlling the day-to-day operations without creating additional overhead, and finally, utilizing data from the site in real time. Our solution is digitizing construction and being an integrated construction operations platform. We enable complete visibility. Visibility is a key part of our life today. As you go on your banking application, you can see your finance. As you go on your ride-share applications, you can book a taxi or basically get a ride wherever you want, and everything is completely visible. And this is exactly what we want to create in the working environment. The system is a plug-and-play setup combining IoT with construction management applications. The IoT itself was modified and is designed for construction sites. No need for pre-existing communication or pre-existing electricity. 3 very simple parts to the system itself. The beacons, as you can see right here, the location beacons and the equipment beacons, transmit in a BLE transmission frequency. This is being picked up by the personnel tag or the personal badge carried by everyone in the working environment. The tag itself is the smart unit, and it has, in addition to the communication system protocols, also modules like accelerometer, barometer, or gyroscope. The tag itself, walking around the site, picks up the frequencies from the equipment locators and from the location beacon, understands its location and what's near it, and sends using a LoRa communication protocol to a single gateway located on site. This gateway is the only unit requiring running power and any sort of communication, 3G, 4G, Ethernet, or anything else. We get a real-time status of the site, portraying and projecting the allocation and location of each of the resources on site. That creates a minimized time between unplanned event and planned events in the working environment to management awareness, shortening the time frame from days to minutes. The system in its entirety was designed in order to provide construction professionals with 2 key principles: ease of implementation. The system in its entirety takes about 4.5 hours to be implemented in a 55 stories building. And second is ease of use, not creating additional overhead, not even 1 minute. So the product itself divides into 2. The command and control system used by on-site professionals and on-site functions with 4 core capabilities: oversee personnel, equipment, tools, and materials, locations, and allocations, analyze all the information collected from the working environment, measure the work sequences and compare actual versus plan, and finally, react quickly and immediately to site status. The second part of the product is the periodical analytics for high-level management, a quarterly analysis that basically provides insight about how the site has been performing over the last quarter. But in addition to that, on-demand reports as incident reports, hoist reports, usage of tools, etc. This creates a cross-site industry standard comparison. Know how your site has been performed comparing to other sites, either internally in the company or externally with other companies. So the three core capabilities that the system offers today, A, is real-time resource allocation, oversee as we call it. What you can see right here is an actual dashboard of one of our active projects. If looking at the screen very quickly, you can see that on the left, you can see a general overview of the site, general information about how many people and active floors are on site, the professions, and from each profession, how many people are there, management functions, and the equipment that is being used. On the middle screen or the main screen, you can see the side view of the building itself, portraying the location and allocation of those resources, and every important working environment as elevators, preparation area, or any other special purpose area that you'd like to focus. On the right, you can see a safety log portraying both live and resolved events, and I'll explain even more down the road on the safety elements. But just as a general note, we have 95 different safety regulations today that are active on site, both behavioral and environmental. The last part is the work plan widget, basically connecting to your work plan, comparing three levels of information: the work plan, the project Gantt, and the actual work being done in the working environment. Pressing a specific floor will open a floor plan where you can see the allocation and location based on specific areas in the working environment. So the work plan generator was based on the last planner, and this is the second core capability that Truster offers. We create a common language between all site functions, and we want to help managers track progress on their activities and make sure the project is on time and on budget. Our work plan can pull information from any data source that is required, or could be filled manually by the site engineer, creating a digital whiteboard for everyone to use and everyone to share in order to see the same data source. Creating an activity is very simple. You just pick a time slot, profession, work description, the working areas, the duration of time, the manager responsible, and if it's a dangerous activity. If so, the safety manager will be aware of it as well. As you can see, you can also edit, prolong, extend, complete activities using the work plan. If looking again at the work plan widget, you can see that it divides into 4 different sections: overdue, delayed, in progress, and completed. The different statuses make sure that the site functions have more focus on what they need to address in real time in the site and how the different activities are being performed. For instance, on the 4th floor, creating walls by the masonry. Today, 7 hours was spent on the 4th floor, 8 hours on the 5th floor, and 3 hours on the 7th floor. As I mentioned before, in terms of the site safety alert system, we have 95 different safety regulations, and we keep adding more. This divides in both behavioral, as walking into a non-authorized area, using a non-authorized tool or without a permit, certificate that has expired, etc., and environmental, strong winds and working on scaffolding, or even pollution and gases in specific areas, or noise. The information will be conveyed both to the worker, but also to the manager closest and to the safety manager on site. The smart summaries is our third core capability, which basically provides both on-site functions with real-time information, but also is the basis for the information that is used in the quarterly analysis. We provide a variety of analysis, including the executive summary, as you can see right here, that portrays the work resource analysis, the analysis of the activities, and the safety analysis itself, subcontractor analysis for each subcontractor, work plan analysis, and finally the weekly activity summary, so you can see how the activities were performed in a breakdown. Our impact points is focusing on achieving goals and cutting budgets, prevent delays in schedules and save substantial financial cost, accelerate response time to on-site events and anything happening so you can react quicker in a more efficient way, shorter cycles for drawing conclusions, and better risk assessment and risk management. Some of our clients are some of the biggest companies in the world, and we're very thrilled to explore additional markets. Thank you so much, and if you're ready to boost your site, join us.
Thank you, Mr. Surik. Next, we would like to invite Mr. Jonathan Berman, Head of Sales from Seption, to present their solution. Mr. Berman, please.
Good morning. My name is Jonathan. I'm from Seption. And today we're going to discuss Seption, the company, and its technologies. And I think the best way to explain what we do is to show you a very quick video. And after the video, I will explain exactly how Seption does what it does.
Construction and mining sites are highly complex environments that pose numerous safety and logistical challenges. MineCept by Seption is a next-gen AI-based solution that provides machine operators and site managers with real-time predictive data and insights across the production cycle, enhancing safety, productivity, and sustainability while maximizing profitability. The system is compatible with your existing fleet, as it is both OEM and platform agnostic. Harnessing advanced sensing, computer vision, and deep learning technologies, Seption creates superior spatial and situational awareness, enabled by precise localization and full 3D mapping data. This allows MineCept to provide operators with audible and visual alerts of impending danger and operational guidance. Instantaneous information collection sharing across all machinery on site equips operators and management with real-time and AI-enhanced data regarding safety and efficiency, as well as actionable planning and execution insights. MineCept is a cost-effective, modular, SaaS-based solution, providing maximum flexibility and offering various applications for all levels of autonomy, from manual to fully autonomous. MineCept reshapes modern mining and construction sites, delivering all participants with an accurate and unified view, and enabling a safer, more productive, and sustainable working environment than ever before. Seption. Get the point.
So the video is self-explanatory, but let's dive into some details. Seption is a startup based in Israel, and we use precise localization and mapping in order to provide heavy mobile vehicles in the construction, mining, and building materials markets to give human and autonomous operations. Seption was established in 2019. It's raised money through VCs and other programs here in Israel, and has a team of about 25 people, all with a lot of autonomous experience, putting together a very advanced technology team. So what's the problem that Seption is addressing? As I'm sure most of you are aware, construction sites and mining sites are pretty unsafe areas to be working in. You have a lot of heavy machinery moving around, and accidents in these arenas are extremely severe. Of course, loss of human life is the ultimate issue, but as well as human life, if there's an accident, you're looking at shutting down operations, which of course results in loss of revenue and money. These accidents happen quite frequently, and Seption has decided to address this issue using technology. Seption's next generation AI solution looks at 3 different layers. So of course it addresses, first off, the vehicle itself. It then looks at a fleet of vehicles, and then on top of all that addresses the whole site. And we provide applications that deal with safety and productivity for all 3 layers: vehicle, fleets, and sites. How do we do this? We do this with two products. The first product is a aftermarket modular kit, which is has a small onboard computer. Connected to that computer are cameras and sensors. And the result of that equipment can be seen in the cabin using an operator's interface. There's a little screen inside the cabin of the vehicle, and there is a management piece of software management for the managers, so they can see all the incidents and all everything that's happening at a level of vehicle, fleet, and site. The second product is an SDK kit, which allows third-party developers to develop onto the platform. How we go about doing this, we use a various amount of technologies overlaying each other, and we combine all these technologies in order to create a very precise 3D mapping, giving the vehicle an awareness of what's happening around it. These are some of the examples of what the cameras and sensors that are on the vehicle see in order to create that awareness. So I'm going to show you a couple of videos that explain how this works. Here we're looking at a video of a moving vehicle represented by a yellow triangle. On the top part of the screen, you can see what the cameras are seeing, and on the bottom part in black, you can see what the cameras are creating, which is a model of the environment and what the vehicle is seeing. Okay, this allows us to create a very precise, let's call it a 3D mapping of the environment, the rocks that are around it, the mountains that are around it, in order to give the vehicle an awareness of its surroundings. This is one example. Another example is this. Let me just open this video. Again, this video represents what the cameras are seeing and the representation in software. Here you can see how the back and forth movement of the yellow rectangle, which represents a vehicle, how much earth is being moved as the dozer pushes material backwards and forwards. These are just some examples of how the technology that we're using creates an environment giving the vehicle awareness. Here is a final example of what the cameras on the vehicle are seeing now. So now they're seeing a car approaching, they're seeing a haul truck approaching, all done through cameras that are put on the vehicles in order to give the vehicle and the operator security warnings. So with the kit installed in your vehicles and the technology knowledge that the computer now has of its environment, Ception can develop, using this data, various applications relevant to mining and construction markets. Examples of such applications, so collision avoidance, road monitoring, all precise loading solutions, stockpile measurement, safe and efficient dumping. These are applications that have been developed on top of the data collected by the solution installed on the vehicles. Using the data, many applications can be developed. These are some examples of applications that we have developed already or in the process of developing and can be relevant for your industries. Some case studies of systems already installed in various different markets. We have systems installed in quarries. We have systems installed in building material companies and applications and systems running in construction sites. I'll just show you a quick video which really demonstrates how the system works and what it's capable of. So here you're looking at the two bottom videos, the left and the right. These are views of the cameras, one on the front of the vehicle and one on the back of the vehicle. And then on the top left, this is what the driver, the operator, sees in his cabin. And on the top right, this is what the manager who's sitting in an office somewhere sees. The manager sees an overview of the whole site. So we can see vehicles, all kinds of areas that maybe he has designated as areas that driver shouldn't be driving in. And as you can see, the driver is approaching one of those areas. And I'm going to fast forward it a bit so you can see what happens if the driver enters such an area that he's not meant to be going in. So in this case, he's avoiding that area. He's seen I'm not allowed in that red triangle, so I'm going to avoid it. Let's fast forward. So here you can see he entered into an area that he's not allowed in, and he receives a warning: you're in a restricted zone, please leave that area. Another example is the example of reversing. So here we have a driver that's reversing. So on the top left, this is what he sees in his cabin. The driver sees in his cabin. The bottom left and right are the views of the cameras. So here you can see that the system is basically telling him how to approach the reverse at the right angles in order to avoid any type of problems when he tips his material. It'll tell him he's going too fast. It'll tell him your angle is wrong, and even tell him if the berm at the reverse here is maybe not safe. This is really emphasizes what the system is capable of. Anything that the driver does, any problem or any issue or any warning, the management system records, and the managers can see it later, click on the event, click on, okay, show me what happened, play the video, and later can be viewed and reviewed and be used as a tool for assessing all kinds of situations and accidents as they happen. Ception has received a number of awards. Cemex Ventures put us as the top 50. We were a leader in that. Built Worlds, we also received an award. We continue to receive awards for this the technology. And we've been installing the technology in a number of different sites around the world. Okay, we need to edit that part out. I'm going to just move on to the next slide. So why Ception? Ception's market is a market that is tech hungry. The construction world and the mining world, these are very traditional markets that require new technology. Ception's application, so the platform that we're deploying is very, very modular, meaning there are applications, you can choose which applications are relevant for you. The model is a SaaS model, so you're paying basically for what you use. You're deploying one system for safety and productivity. And you're choosing which applications are relevant. Not only that, there are applications that maybe we haven't developed that your company may seem viable. And if the data is there, which we're collecting, we can develop new applications around that data. We're giving heavy vehicles a set of smart sensors. So from becoming a vehicle that's, let's use the word, not a vehicle that's dumb, we're making that vehicle clever. You're working with a team of highly experienced technology guys that have done this in the past. We have 6 patents pending in this space. And the strategy today is to try and solve safety and productivity using technology, but paving the way to the future of automation of these heavy vehicles in construction and mining sites. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Berman. Next, we would like to invite Mr. Ran Levisudi, CRO and co-founder of Co-organised, to present their solution. Mr. Levisudi, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ran, and I'm the CRO and co-founder of Co-organised. Co-organised is a construction bidding and estimating automation platform aiming from the construction industry, developers, general contractors, subcontractors, and management companies. We are 3 co-founders. Myself and Dima have specialized more than 15 years in the construction industry adopting ERP solution. Together with Dennis, after sowing the pains and the ability for construction company not to be able to do the bidding and estimating in a correct and smooth way, we developed a platform that now give our customers the ability to run faster and smarter. 69% of the project worldwide overrun their budget. And one of the primary reasons for that is inaccurate estimating. So this is, of course, a worldwide, and it's given the companies bad reputation and loss of millions of dollars. When we look deep into the problem, we understand that those 3 pillars, like lack of standardization, manual works, and error-prone processes, is actually the reason for the lack of the ability for the companies to estimate the project in a correct way. So what we managed to build is an end-to-end solution for tender department. It started from the pipeline deep into the advanced cost estimating tools, into the bidding with subcontractors and suppliers, into the indirect cost and loading profit. And before the submission, the companies now can truly make the analysis and the risk management because all the data is in one spot. So they can truly manage and understand what they submit. And we didn't stop there only, because one of, again, a big issue in the construction industry today is the transmits from the tender to the execution. And also, several of the companies that even don't do tenders need only the part that give them the ability to plan in the execution phase and manage all the contractual engagement within some contractor. Sometimes it's, of course, if it is a developer, so with his main contractor. So what we managed to build is entire solution for bringing the companies a map, build it in the solution, a map of all the requirement contractual engagement, plan when they want to close each of the contractual engagement, send the bids, do the comparison, do the budget compliance, and until signing the contract in the platform itself. So the benefits, if we take 5 major things that we now managed to bring to the table to the customers that working today with us, is a very intuitive and easy to onboard. It's simply like, even like we can say, plug and play a solution, and also the ability for the companies not to use Excels and email. And as I mentioned before, give a standardization that is lacking today for the entire bidding and estimating. And very important to mention, because all the data is put in one place, not in emails and Excel and spreadsheet. So we can, the companies can use our data and them data to learn and to do self-improvement from tender to tender. So we validate ourselves in the market. Today, we're working with 7 out of the 10 biggest main contractors in Israel. Actually, we conquered the Israeli market in less than 2 years. And also, we've been invested by Pileups. They are venture capital located in the UK, in London. They invest only in construction technology. And also, we've been in partnership with ERP solutions like Priority. They are the most spread in Israel. Also, Procore, they are giant in terms of the construction industry in the US and also in the European market. For example, JLL, the second largest management company in the world, they've been looking for a long time for a solution, and eventually they choose us, and we're helping them today to save up to 70% of the time to issuing a tender, give them the ability to work faster and to have more time to do more interesting and deep analysis on the tenders that they participate and that they're issuing. Also, Ashstrom, one of the biggest main contractors in Israel, there we're working in the tender department, but also in 4 subsidiaries in more than 30 residential high tower construction project in the execution phase. If to sum it up, all our aim is to help our customers to reduce and eliminate errors due to the ability to see it in a very transparent, in a very visual way, and also to lower the risk for them to lose a tender or to win it with underestimating. And of course, for companies that participate in tenders and issuing a tenders, statistically, they can do more with us, and then, of course, they can increase the winning rate. So this is just a glimpse about us. And so I'm logging to the software. It's all cloud-based. So here you can see the list of the project and its stage. You can, of course, filter by the state, is it tender, execution, etc. It's a multi-language, multi-currency, multi-regional, so you can work anywhere, any place, anytime. And from there, if I'm entering into a particular project that's been estimated already, of course, I want to show you a few slides. So when I mentioned before, all the ability for the companies to do an advanced estimation. So all the bill of quantity, of course, you can upload it very fast. Each line can be estimated. Of course, I'm not going to deep dive, but you can filter very easy, understanding and focusing on a particular. You can search very easily from previous project to understand better, okay, the estimation. So you can search, it's automatically give you the analysis what happened in previous project. You can see who did it and what exactly the component. Okay, so the data and the historical data is very important for the companies to learn. And also all the bidding with subcontractors and suppliers, it's all managed through the same place. So we call it Works. So this is like a dashboard that show you each discipline, how many proposal, how many invited. So each of the frame here, for example, if I'm entering to the coloring, so all the data you can, by 4 easy steps, you can send the inquiries to the subcontractor suppliers, and they're getting back the proposal inside the solution. So the bill of quantity, after getting back one proposal, it's changing automatically to a comparison table. So all the analysis is going to be in the software, not in Excel anymore. So you can highlight, for example, minimum, maximum. You can see deviation. You can sort by deviation. You can see the deviation from minimum, maximum, average. So all the analysis can truly be in one place. So you can see, if you want language remark, you can see all the lines that have remarks. So all the analysis, again, in one spot. So if I'm going back, also in terms of the estimate, it's it's from A to Z going to be inside. All the bidding with subcontractor going to be inside. All the indirect cost and the calculation of the indirect cost, again, going to be in the same spot. So from that, you can make all the analysis. For example, you can summarize it, and then you can understand very deeply how the cost and how the price and being divided. Okay, you can see, you can summarize by work types, which means that you can see each of the building, for example, and each of the work type, how it's been estimated, and if it's like something, you can see also. You can make analysis, which means that the platform can generate an automated, a deep analysis on the estimation. So you can make ability to even see it with the norm and to understand if you're in spot or not in terms of the estimate. So this, for example, when our client used to work in Excel and email, they don't have even the time, because they need to submit the tender to make all those analyses. And those analyses also being today able to make those analyses and to do the comparison between projects. So you can learn from previous project also. And last thing that I want to share with you in the time that I still have is that we can help not only in one project, because when client win project in our solution, as I mentioned before, they can transmit it to the execution phase. Here in the execution phase, they can work and do all the contract negotiation. I will show you here. So for example, I'm going to go to a project in the execution phase. So here we give the ability for the customers, for the construction customers, to work and actually manage the contract management and plan it, saying what type of work they need to close and when. And from that, they get the ability to monitor it and to get automatically alert. And this is for one project, for example. And then they can close and do the bidding in the execution phase and close the contract and make the budget analysis, and as I mentioned before. And because we can do it in one project, we can then take it to all the project and then give the ability to make a contract planning and better negotiation in terms of the entire company. So thank you very much for the time. If you have any interest of us trying to help and give the value that the clients in the companies that we're working today see, so I will be happy to help, and appreciate the time, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lavi Sudi. Next, we would like to invite Ms. Kelly Wasserman, co-founder and CEO of BidMatch, to present the solution. Ms. Wasserman, please.
Hi everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to tell you about BIMH. Nice to meet you. I'm Cheli Wasserman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of BIMH. I'm an architect with a master's degree and 15 years of experience in this domain. Together with my powerful team, we developed BIMH. BIMH is a SaaS solution that empowers planners, owners, GCs to reach net zero construction projects by AI optimization of material sourcing. In the 21st century, construction projects are massive and dynamic data sources with more than 3 million projects a year. The global construction market is contributing 11% of the carbon footprint emissions due to material sourcing only. The need for low carbon construction is pressing. Though sourcing material is not such an easy task to do, architects and engineers face the challenge of spending 40% of the time finding source construction products and materials of thousands of hundreds and thousands of objects inside of their design. They are searching for carbon zero footprint material and often rely on outdated information. They use phone calls, websites, and lengthy PDFs to rely on data from the previous project that are often updated. The process of specifying and detailed design projects that are aligned with the project standards and specification is time-consuming and causes mistakes that leads to 45% of the project budget overruns. On the other side, real-time feedbacks on market demands is critical for construction product and material manufacturers to meet the right quantities, product type, and specification required, both for manufacturing flow as well as for sales and marketing efforts. So here, BIMH comes into the picture. We bridge the gap between the complexity of product demands such as carbon zero footprint materials, budget, safety, etc., and the material supply chain accurate parameters. Our one source of truth solution takes updated data from PDFs, Excels, BIM files, and turn it automatically into Lean BIM organization library. All building element, whether it's organization standard or manufacturer's product data, are specified and shared among all project teams in the organization, in all organization projects, backed with notification centers to keep all parties synchronized on any changes. This is how we streamline the process of detailed technical specification and bill of materials for all projects phases and the life cycle. BIMH actually indexed organization building standards and manufacturer material databases according to long list of category-specific standards that are connected to our metadata list. We match the demands. We match demands and supply according to these parameters, such as carbon footprint, fire resistance, wind loads, seismic resistance, to make building much more efficient. So then the BIMH matching by machine learning algorithm analyzes the products and the project requirements, such as the standard, location, category, carbon footprint, budget, etc., to automatically identify the best fit products. And then we apply the data automatically into the twin model. Important to say is that the model can be in a very early stage of the design with only generic elements, and still BIMH know how to read the object and find the best fitted solutions. The results of the AI is the automated bill of materials that comply with the carbon emission standards and footprint and requirements of the project itself. So from the SaaS application, the project manager can shoot requests for quotes for the relevant distributor from our database, or we can upload his own list of distributors. In the BIMage platforms, the user also can calculate, view, and compare the carbon footprint emission of the total products inside of the project according to the breakdown of categories and materials. Our plugin into Autodesk Revit software enable seamless data sync among project teams. Bill of materials are being shared among project stakeholders with single click. Also through access to the Autodesk Construction Clouds. Our BI and analytics enables data-driven decision-making regarding the bill of materials in the project. We measure the way the teams are applying products inside of the project and how it affects and impacts the project sustainability, budget, and social footprint. From a high-level point of view, the software connects project owners in one side, planners, and big organizations that build regularly. With the other side, the supply chain, brand, distributors, vendors, and so on, manufacturers, through the project standards. And moreover, the BIMage system learns the most efficient results and give real-time feedback. The value proposition is going along the project lifecycle, from very early stage of the creating the organization library as shared parameters instead of PDFs, Excels, and so on, through the AI matching engine with the sustainability and standard, and to the stage of the bidding and maintenance of the project, because the design twin model already highly and very detailed specifies, so we know every element inside of the design where is it located. Our main competitive advantages are three. The Lean BIM solution, it's like a text to BIM translator. We take a PDF, we take Excel, the result is Lean BIM. Second, our AI matching engine that take generic project into a detailed design ready to bidding and bill of material phases. And the third is our carbon footprint calculators of the project itself according to the standards of products and material. During 2023, we plan to enter 2 more geographies, hopefully Hong Kong, to reach traction of 450 projects and 3,000 building product and material firms that present 300,000 catalog products. We predict revenue of $500,000. Today, we have more than 300 users, architects, engineers, GCs acquired in 2 months only. We are integrated with a Procore platform, and as I mentioned before, Autodesk Construction Cloud integration. And we have few pilots projects with some of the leading local and global organizations. We're reaching product market fit and expanding business network by collaborating with leading architecture and engineer firms, as well as some of leading construction material industries in Israel, Europe, and the US. Generated an initial revenue of approximately $200,000 last year. To date, we are fundraising $2.5 million to complete the seed round, which will give us 18 months of runway We split the budget as follows: 25% for marketing, 30% to sales, R&D, including our AI analyst and scientist, 30% GA, and 50% other COGS. Our strategic partners and first seed investors are Shafir Civil and Marine Engineering in Israel. Finally, most important, my superheroes teams, Eli Wasserman, co-founder and head of product, is a brilliant UX expert with vast experience in digital products management in global companies. Tzachi Flato is our business consultant and the CEO of Contact, the Israel Construction Innovation Hub. Our development team includes 10 super professional software engineer expert in our technology domain, full stack 3D expert, BIM API developers, and data scientists. In our advisory board sits the former director of the Israeli Ministry of Construction and Housing. Thank you so much for the opportunity and looking forward to speaking to you soon. Bye.
Thank you, Ms. Wasserman, for her presentation. And thanks again all the speakers for providing us insights and presenting their cutting-edge technologies in construction to us today. Please fill in the survey form before leaving this webinar. If you're interested in the presented solutions, please express your interest in the survey form. We will share your contacts to the Israel technology companies for hooking you up. Hope you enjoyed the webinar today and see you all in the next section.